Hello students, so here we are back again with a new part of our chapter number 2. As in part number 1 we have discussed about properties of acid and base, physical properties, and also we have discussed about briefly we have discussed about indicators, and in part number 2 we have discussed about the chemical properties of acid and base, and also we have discussed about what are the differences between the chemical properties of acid and base. Okay, in part number 2 we're going to discuss about what all the acids have. As we have seen various properties of acid, we have seen the various chemical properties of base also. So what do all the acids have in common, what do all the base have in common, how we use acid and base in our daily life. Okay, let's begin. Before proceeding, আমার পক্ষ থেকে সবাইকে নববর্ষের আন্তরিক প্রীতি ও শুভেচ্ছা জানাই। আশা করি আগামী বছরটা মতলব বালা যাইবো আমরা। ওকে, শুরু করা যাক পার্ট নাম্বার 3। তো কোয়েশ্চেন becomes what do all the acids have in common? What do all the acids have in common? Okay, this is a question. Now in part 2 we have seen if acid is reacting with the metal, it is producing salt and the hydrogen gas. In so many I have taken two examples also. Acid reacting with the metal forming salt and the hydrogen gas. Okay, now if acid is producing hydrogen gas, that means in acid there is hydrogen gas is present. For example, if I am producing something, okay, that means that thing is present in me. Okay, clear? For example, I am giving lectures about what do all the acids have in, that means I know about what acid and how what do all the acids have in common. Okay, if somebody is producing something, that means that thing is present in them. Okay, so if acid is producing hydrogen gas, that means acid contains what hydrogen gas. Okay, so now if what happens when if we are dissolving this any acid with water. Okay, if we are dissolving any kind of acid in water, for example I am taking three different type of acid and I am mixing with water, I am making their solution. HCl H2O HNO3 and H2O. Then I am taking CH3COOH acetic acid. Then I am mixing with water. I have taken 4 different kinds of acid and I am making their solution. Okay, prepare their solution. If I am preparing their solution, so they after reacting with this water solution, they will produce, in every case they produce H plus. Here it will produce Cl minus. Here they will produce H plus and the SO4 2 minus. SO4 2 minus. Here they will produce H plus and the NO3 minus. NO3 minus. Here they will produce ultimately CH3COO plus and COO minus and H plus. Okay, so if you see observe, then clearly here it is one thing is common, that in every case is that all the acid is producing hydrogen ion in their solution. So this is the common property of all acid. Whether you are talking about any strong acid, any weak acid, in every acid there is one thing is common, and the common thing is that every acid in their solution, this is very very important, in their solution they produce hydrogen ion. Clear? Now if every acid is producing hydrogen ion, the type of acid which produce more amount of hydrogen ion, such acids are strong acid. For example, HCl H2O HNO, these are strong acids, as they will produce more amount of hydrogen and more number of hydrogen ion. Okay, but in case of this one, this will produce less number of hydrogen ion. So this is what our weak acid. These three are what our strong acid. If something is producing more number of if something is, in case of these three, hydrogen ion will completely separate. Okay, hydrogen are completely liberate, as they are liberating more number of hydrogen ion, so they are strong acid. This is liberating less number of hydrogen ion, so this is our weak acid. Clear? So this HCl is showing acidic property because it is producing H plus ion in their solution. You have to keep in this mind. If something is, for example, I am showing acidic character and my friend B, I'm Jubair and I am showing acidic character, my friend is Amit and he is showing basic character. If I am showing acidic character, my friend Amit is not showing acidic character. Imagine this. If I am showing acidic character because I am producing H plus ion on my solution, and my friend Amit is not showing acidic character because it is not producing H plus ion in its solution. Clear? So it is important that if all the acids have in common, and this because of this H plus ion, they are showing the acidic property. प्रॉपर्टी. ओके क्लियर, समझ आया इतना. तो इफ दिस प्रोड्यूसिंग H प्लस आयन, अभी मतलब देखो मतलब नाउ द क्वेश्चन कम्स, मतलब हम लोगों ने मतलब एक चीज देख लिया यहाँ से HCl मतलब H2SO4 देन HNO3 here hydrogen is mainly present here. In case of CH3 COOH CH3, this one is called acidic acid. So in case ethanoic acid, acidic acid also called. Okay, so in case of this one, in case of this one also here is hydrogen present. So one thing you can matlab you can make an idea that if there is hydrogen and there is what, if there is hydrogen they will produce H plus. And now this is the wrong concept. Okay, if they may have hydrogen present in them, but they will not produce, in every case they will not produce what our H plus are. Let's take an example. Take a beaker A, take beaker what, B, take beaker what, B, beaker number A, beaker number B. Okay, take beaker number C also, beaker number C, and take beaker number D. Okay, let's make it the sequence A, B, C, D. Okay, I have taken three different type of beaker, and within every one I have added what, water. I have added what, water. In every one I have added what, water. Now in case of beaker A, I am adding what? Okay, I am adding HCl. In case of beaker 2, I am adding H2SO4. In case of beaker 3, I am adding glucose C6H12O. This is our sign of what, glucose. And I am taking what, any other type of. Let's take the तीनों से अच्छे से समझते हैं. Okay, तीनों से आसानी से समझ आ जाएगा. Okay, alcohol. अच्छा, take alcohol. Take what, alcohol. अच्छे से समझ आ जाएगा. Okay, alcohol sign I can take C2H6OH, C2H5OH. Okay, kind of alcohol. ethanol. Okay, coffee syrup में जो use होता है ethanol. Okay, as beaker number A containing what, water plus acid. This. Okay, now if you see here, in every cases, if you observe clearly, hydrogen is present. Here is our hydrogen, here is our hydrogen, here is our hydrogen, here is our hydrogen. Okay, every case there is hydrogen is present. Okay, now if I keep a what kind of what pin and connect this pin with a conducting wire and a battery, with a battery plus minus. Okay, and if I flow electricity, if I flow electricity. Now in case of beaker A, this experiment is for everyone. Okay, beaker A I have taken for A, for B, for C and D. Okay, in case of beaker A, this if I test with what, this water is conducting or not. In case of this one, I will see what, water is in case of this water, this is conducting electricity. Electricity is what, electricity is conducting. In case of this one, in case of this one also I will see electricity is conducting. But in case of this one, electricity no, I will see what, electricity is not conducting. Here I will see also same, electricity not conducting. And the question comes, why these two are not conducting, these two are conducting electricity? Now the answer is very simple. As these two are what, these two produce after mixing. This is what, HCl. So after mixing with the water, it will produce H plus and the Cl minus. This will produce what, H plus and the SO4 2 minus. So as they are producing ion, they are producing what, they are breaking down, they are liberating hydrogen ion. So these two will show acidic character, but these two will not show acidic character, though they in every case they have what, hydrogen with them, but these two will not show acidic character, as they in their solution they will not produce H plus ion, but these two producing H plus ion, so they will show the acidic character. समझ में आया मतलब? So why HCl shows acidic character but glucose do not show acidic character? HCl shows acidic character because it on solution produces H plus ion, whereas glucose have hydrogen in them, but they do not produce H plus ion, so they do not show the property of acid. समझ में आया? एसिड प्रॉपर्टी शो मतलब हम लोग को एसिड प्रॉपर्टी शो करने के लिए H प्लस होना जरूरी है, बट अगर HCl is not producing, तो it will not conduct electricity or it will not show the acidic character. Okay. Question may come like this: solution of acid conduct electricity, whereas without solution of acid do not conduct electricity. Okay, so answer is simple. If the solution of acid they are producing H plus ion, they will conduct electricity. Where in case of the other solution, this is not producing H plus ion, so this is not conducting electricity. Clear? समझ में आया था? Okay. why distilled water do not conduct electricity? तो इसमें क्वेश्चन थे, as distilled water do not produce any kind of ion, so it is not, it do not conduct electricity. Okay, question may come like this. Now why dry HCl, why acid in dry condition, acid in, why dry HCl, why dry HCl do not change the color of litmus, do not change the color of litmus, whereas if I dissolve what HCl, if I dissolve in what, if I dissolve in dissolving condition, HCl shows acidic character. In case of dry condition we are not adding water with HCl, but in case of moist HCl we can take moist, okay, थोड़ा बहुत water है इसमें, okay. In case of dry HCl it is not producing H plus ion, so it will not show any kind of acidic character. As it is not showing acidic character, so it will not change the color of litmus. But in case of moist HCl it is producing H plus ion, as it is producing H plus ion, so it will change the color of litmus, okay, and it will change the color of red litmus to what, no, blue litmus to red, as this is acid, okay, clear? इतना समझ में आया होगा. मतलब if something is showing acidic character it is producing H plus ion, if something is not showing acidic character it is not showing producing H plus ion. clear? इतना समझ में आया होगा. अभी HCl dry condition में मतलब they cannot produce H plus ion, तो they will not show the acidic character, but in case of moist condition they will produce H plus ion, and for that condition they will conduct electricity. मतलब अभी मतलब इससे कोई भी क्वेश्चन आ सके तो मतलब अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हो अच्छे से, एज इतना बिलीव है मेरे पे, ओके, खुद पे इतना यकीन है कि मतलब इतना अच्छा एक्सप्लेन किया मैंने, ओके, अभी खुद पर है, मतलब इफ आई नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग देन रिवर्स इट, ओके. नाउ द क्वेश्चन कम्स फॉर बेस. अभी बेस का, बेस के लिए क्या होता है, ओके, बेस. नाउ द क्वेश्चन कम्स फॉर द बेस, क्वेश्चन कम्स फॉर द बेस में क्या होता है. नाउ इन केस ऑफ बेस व्हाट हैपेंस, अभी वन थिंग में क्वेश्चन में कम इन माइंड, ओके, कम्स इन माइंड, और ये H प्लस होता है तो मतलब इफ इट इज प्रोड्यूसिंग एसिड प्रोड्यूसिंग H प्लस आयन, अभी ये H प्लस वन थिंग इज इंपॉर्टेंट, H प्लस डू नॉट एग्जिस्ट अलोन, मतलब ये खुद में अकेला नहीं रह सकता, इट इज स्टेबल, अनस्टेबल होता है H प्लस, ओके. H plus unstable होता है तो it is what happens, this H plus as we are mixing HCl plus what, water, HCl plus what, water, so because this HCl is producing H plus ion, so this H plus mix cannot stay alone, so it mixes with the water and forms H3O plus, H3O plus, this is called hydronium ion, hydronium ion. Important thing, acid, this acid, the H plus ion that produced by acid can't stay alone, as it is very unstable, so it what, it reacts with the water and forms what, hydronium ion, hydronium ion. clear? So if we are talking about H plus, we are ultimately indirectly we are talking about H3O plus also, H3O plus is called hydronium ion, hydronium ion. clear? तो कैसे बनता है, this the H plus produced by acid after in mixing with the solution, this H plus cannot stay alone, मतलब unstable होता है, मतलब they cannot stay alone, so they will mix with the water H2O and they will form hydronium ion. clear? Now what happens in case of base, बेस के मतलब बेस के लिए क्या होता है, अभी मतलब बेस के लिए क्या होता है, बेस लेट्स टेक ए बेस NaOH and mix with water, mix with what, water. If we are making solution of base, so we will see what it is producing Na plus and the OH minus, Na plus and the OH minus, Na plus and the OH minus, okay. If we are taking CaOH2, we will also see what Ca is producing calcium 2 plus and it is producing OH minus, OH minus. So here is the common thing in case of base, they are producing what, OH minus, OH minus ion. Very important thing, base produces OH minus ion and acid produces H plus ion. Acid shows acidic character because of H plus and base shows basic character because of OH minus ion. OH minus is known by hydroxide ion. Similar in case of base also, is the base that produces more number of hydroxide ion, it is more strong base, and the base that produces less number of hydroxide ion are what, weak base, okay. Like the case happens with the acid, more number of hydrogen ion are more strong acid, less number of hydrogen ion are weak acid, more number of hydroxide ion are strong base, less number of hydroxide ion are weak base. clear? So the base shows basic character because of this OH minus, okay. Why NaOH shows basic character, why HCl shows acidic character. HCl shows acidic character because it produces H plus ion, but NaOH shows basic character because it produces OH minus ion. समझ में आया, मतलब इतना. एसिड मतलब HCl को मतलब HCl को मतलब कौन सा प्रॉपर्टी शो मतलब आता है, तो each मतलब HCl शो करता है मतलब एसिड वाला प्रॉपर्टी बिकॉज इट प्रोड्यूसेस H plus ion, whereas NaOH मतलब क्या करता है, इट प्रोड्यूसेस OH minus ion, so that it is showing what, basic character. समझ में आया, होप समझ में आया होगा. तो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट मतलब व्हाट डू ऑल द एसिड्स हैव इन कॉमन. इफ समबडी आस्क यू तो सिंपल रिप्लाई, मतलब अच्छे से आसान के मत रिप्लाई देना कि मतलब ऑल द एसिड्स हैव व्हाट, H plus ion, and all the base have what? Hydroxide ion. Remember one thing, in solution, in dry condition, no acid and no base cannot produce any kind of ion. Remember this thing, okay? समझ में आया? Okay. तेरा क्या हुआ? Okay, now the important thing, मतलब अभी मतलब we have seen acid इतना मतलब होता है, acid strong होता है, base होता है, but daily life में क्या होता है, हम लोग acid को मतलब क्या करते हैं, use करते हैं, okay, base को भी क्या करते हैं, use करते हैं ना. How you use, okay, we मतलब उतना कॉन्सेंट मतलब लेवल मतलब हम लोग उतना स्ट्रॉन्ग वाला को मतलब कैसे यूज करेंगे आप, और मतलब मेरे को स्ट्रॉन्ग वाला यूज करना है, तो हाउ आई विल यूज दैट स्ट्रॉन्ग वन, हाउ आई विल यूज दैट स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस, हाउ आई विल यूज स्ट्रॉन्ग एसिड. ओके, तो by the process of dilution, by the process of dilution. Now dilution is what? So what happens, for example, take a beaker A and take a beaker what? B, beaker number B. Okay, in early condition there is what? This much amount of water in this. Okay, in both beaker this much amount of water. I am adding HCl, here I am adding NaOH. Clear? So I am adding HCl for say 2 spoon of HCl I am adding, but two what, the half test tube I am adding in both cases. Now if I see here is the, as I am adding what, more HCl, I am adding what, more HCl, that means more HCl after mixing with the water they will produce more number of hydrogen ion. In case of this also happen, what will happen, their hydroxide ion will be what, more, this will produce this will liberate H plus ion and this will liberate OH minus ion. So here hydrogen ion will be more, number of hydrogen ion will be more, here hydroxide ion will be more. Okay, more in what, per unit volume, clear. मतलब if it is producing H, मतलब in case of this one, more number of hydrogen ion per unit volume, and this case of in this one per unit volume, hydroxide ion is what, our more. Okay, now if I add more water, this one इस पे और दोनों पे मतलब I'm adding more water. Now what will happen, this the number of hydrogen ion in per unit volume will decrease, will start decreasing. Here also, as the I'm adding more water, so because of adding more water, what will happen, the number of hydroxide ion per unit volume, the number of hydroxide ion present in per unit volume will start decreasing, and I'm adding more water. This is called what, dilution, the process by which we mix with the acid and base with water, and we reduce the concentration of H plus and OH minus. Okay, this is called dilution. मतलब we are adding what, we are adding water, we are mixing water and the acid, and by this process we are decreasing the H plus ion concentration. Hydrogen ion concentration को क्या कर रहा है, decrease कर रहा है, because hydrogen ion is responsible for the acidic character. अगर hydrogen ion ज़्यादा हो गया तो मतलब acidic property क्या होगा, ज़्यादा होगा. अगर OH minus का मतलब concentration ज़्यादा हो गया तो उसका property भी ज़्यादा होगा. तो we want to reduce it, so by reducing we are adding water. Okay, now important thing, water, when we are mixing what, we are mixing beaker number A, beaker number B, we are mixing what, water. We are mixing what, water and what, water and the acid, any kind of acid, mostly हम मतलब concentration ज़्यादा वाला. Okay, we are mixing acid and the water, Now the important thing is that while mixing with the acid and water, you have to keep in mind one thing, we cannot add water in acid. Okay, we cannot add water in acid. Instead we will add acid in water. Now why this, we cannot this one, we can use this one. Okay, because as acid, the reaction between water and acid, if we are adding water as acid is what, they produce what, heat. As they are producing heat, so reaction is exothermic. If we are this something is what, very hot here, temperature is very high because of acid, I'm adding what, water. So if I'm adding water, because of as the water is what, cold, so as the temperature is very high, so because of this water after adding they will splash out, and this may cause serious kind of injuries. Okay, this water after adding, as the temperature high, so water will bluff. Okay, water will splash out, and so as the water is splashing out, this may cause serious kinds of injuries, or this may, because of excessive heat, this test tube may broke. Okay, clear? मतलब test tube क्या हो जाएगा, this may we are doing the experiment, this container may burst out. Okay, this may broke because of excessive heat, exothermic. Okay, or this whole mixture may burst out or splash out, may cause serious kind of injuries. Okay, now what happens in case of this? If there is water, temperature is less. If we are adding water, the amount of heat produced by this process, this temperature will produce, because the reaction is exothermic. Temperature will produce, but the temperature produced during this process, water will absorb the temperature, so that the temperature level will not raise. Clear? Agar in case of this one, as the acid reaction तो मतलब हमेशा के exothermic heat will produce, but as the water is present here, so water will absorb the temperature, so that the mixture will become cool. After some time we can add more water. Clear? More acid. This way we use the same happens in case of base also. Some base may splash out also. Same happens in case of acid also. What we cannot add water in acid, but we can add acid in water. And the process by which we add acid and water and decrease the concentration of H plus and or OH minus ion, this is called dilution. This is called dilution. And in the dilution process we cannot add water in acid. Instead we add acid in water. Clear? समझ में आया? Now in case of dilution, what happens? As in, for example, in the container having what? Our H plus. We have water, acid. If I add more acid on a specific glass of water at a given temperature, what will happen? As I am adding more acid, so more number of hydrogen ion will produce. As more number of hydrogen ion is produced, H3 ion will be H3O plus. Hydronium ion will be what? More. Hydronium ion will be more. Clear? As if I am adding more amount of acid on it, so H plus will be more and hydronium ion will be more in per unit volume. Clear? Now, if I am adding, there is a water and there is a fixed amount of acid, and I am adding more water. If I am adding more water, so per unit volume, H plus ion, the density, the amount of hydrogen ion present in per unit volume, or the amount of hydronium ion present in per unit volume will start decreasing, because I am adding water. In same happens with the base also. If I am adding more base, so the OH minus concentration will be increased. If I am adding water, the concentration of OH minus will be decreased. Okay? समझ में आया ना? So what we have discussed, what do all the acids have in common? What do all the base have in common? What is dilution? What is the safest way of doing dilution? Okay. So what do all the acids have in common? All the acids have H plus ion. All the base have OH minus ion. Acid shows acidic property because of H plus ion, and base shows basic property because of OH minus ion. Okay. Clear? तो आज के लिए इतना ही, मतलब छोटा सा टॉपिक है, मतलब अच्छे से गो थ्रू इट एंड ट्राई टू मेक क्वेश्चन. मतलब बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. व्हाई एसिड शोज एसिडिक प्रॉपर्टी, व्हाई ग्लूकोज शोज डू नॉट शो एसिडिक प्रॉपर्टी बट HCl शोज एसिडिक प्रॉपर्टी, व्हाट इज डाइल्यूशन, व्हाई इट इज नॉट, why we cannot water in, okay, why we cannot add water in acid but we can add acid in water. This the question may come in exam. What happens when if we are adding more amount of acid in case of water acid solution, how the H plus ion concentration decreases or increases? Give answer. Okay, so these are the question may come, and go through the small lecture, small part. Okay, go through it, or if you are feeling doubt then ask me question, और मिलते हैं tomorrow न्यू पार्ट के साथ. एंड अच्छा होगा, होप अच्छा लगा तो सबको शेयर करो, एंड बाय बाय.